Good morning. This is John Norton Jensen, Operations Trainee with your Cameron Peak Fire update for all you folks interested in the Cameron Peak Fire. With the values at risk that have been identified to us by your community and by the agency administrators, we have allocated resources for a pretty solid plan of attack today, and let's get into that. A priority area for the fire today is going to be on this north flank, which we call kind of Division Romeo country, Division Lima Foxtrot country, which I'm pointing at right now. What we're doing, we started yesterday, we have a PACE model in place, we called it. So a primary plan, an alternate plan, and a contingency plan. So our primary plan right now is we got a bunch of heavy equipment. So we have dozers, feller bunchers, hot saws, skidders, followed by hand crews, which are pushing direct line to the west towards 3-3 Alpha from Bel Air Lakes. They started on it last night, or yesterday, in kind of mid-shift, making decent progression. Resources from Division Foxtrot Lima are coming in here to the 3-3 Alpha Road and working their way west to east. So we have two groups of folks going direct on our priority area today. We also have some folks in Foxtrot Lima working their way in up to Kilpecker, which has been site prepped and protected, and they're kind of picking up some dozer line, working their way west as well. As a backup, we got heavy equipment and folks in place making some alternative plans using road systems and a contingency plan using dead man. So we have a primary plan and some backup plans that are being worked on, and most of the backup plans, the heavy equipment work has been finalized. So that's a priority for us today. The second priority for us today, folks might see some smoke in the Elkhorn area. We're kind of finishing up a burnout, which will connect these two fingers. We want to make sure that the fire on this big green finger can't get out and go back east again. So we have a burnout going in here. You might see some work going on as well. Additionally, in Division Romeo area, out here on the 68 Charlie and the 700 corridor, 77 corridor, excuse me, we have structure protection set up. We have lots of engines and resources going out, checking heat that went around houses, mopping up, securing, looking at pumps, looking at sprinkler systems, going over plans in place, and being ready, and going over work that has been done. Okay, another priority for us today is in this drop point 154 area off of Highway 14. So this put up some smoke yesterday. We have some houses in the area which we're being proactive and burning out around and using engines and hand crews to immediately mop up and secure the heat around these houses. So we have a good amount of resources focused on this. This is a priority. We want to make sure this is hopefully finished up today. For all of you out there that saw the smoke yesterday, a lot of it came from in here. The map's going to change, but we probably had 400 to 500 acres burned on this interior green island. So a lot of smoke. I expect to see that today as well. We got a little different winds today. There's an easterly component and a northerly component, which is fine, but it's going to cause the fire to be a little more fuels driven as opposed to wind driven. So you'll definitely see some smoke in this green island in here. Another priority for us today, where we're concentrating the resources we have available, and remember we have a limited amount of resources, is down here in Tanga Uniform Country, the Pangaree Park CSU campus and the Pangaree subdivision. We have a very good structure protection plan in place down there. We have folks that have rehearsed it or double checking it, checking our different setups around those houses. We have a group of folks that are opening up a road around the Comanche Lake area. We have a group of folks that are hiking in to look at the Beaver Creek area to assess direct and indirect line options on fire getting over that creek. This line from DP 385 working its way east, or west, excuse me, is going to be rechecked. And we have a division supervisor in this area working up some contingency plans with heavy equipment. Okay, finally today, we're down here in the Long Draw area. We have some folks monitoring a little bit of heat down here in Long Draw. There could potentially be some aviation use down here today to check that. And we also have some Park Service resources with one of our divisions working on contingency plans in the park as well. So prepping roads, chainsaw work, to make sure we have a good fuel break in case down the road something happens. So being proactive there as well. For aviation today, all our Cameron Peak followers, you might see some pretty good aviation use up here in the north end. With all those crews and heavy machinery working in the area, we're going to support them with heavy helicopters, potentially some air tankers as well. So if you see that, they're being supportive and helping those folks gain direct line and gain some distance with that line, get some productions. They're going to be assets to help cool the line down and let those folks work in there and gain some line production. You're going to see some aviation use in here just to cool down the fire and the main drainage here west of DP 154. So you'll see some aviation in there as well. And finally, we'll see some aviation in Comanche. The fire up here by Browns Reservoir and then how it's kind of backing down towards Comanche will be we're going to check it up some more. So we'll use those aviation assets to put helicopter drops for some retardant, keep that fire in check as it backs down the slope, and to provide a good line for us to work off of when it comes to that fire, knowing where it's at and putting some water on that heat. Okay, so we have our priority areas identified. We have allocated resources to those areas, and we have a solid plan in place for the resources we have. We'll be tying in with you guys later. We appreciate your interest. Thank you very much.